Hello, everyone. Can't see my hands clapping. Can't see my hands clapping. Welcome to Alive with Cheryl. I am your host, Cheryl Mebin. I am an actor, writer, researcher, musician, singer, all kinds of different things. And this is season 5. We've done a lot of lives, y'all. So for those who've been around, welcome back. For those who are here for the first time, hello. I hope you're doing well. We like to do this kind of thing once a month. It's a space for us to inspire each other, update, talk about things to keep us healthy, keep us going, and stay live. So welcome everyone. So what I want to do is do the usual thing, updating y'all on what I have been up to recently. So that has been quite a bit. I'm going to take a breath before I get into it. There's a lot going on probably for everybody out there. I hope things are going well for y'all. But let me get into a segment that has included a lot of things that are going pretty well for me, updates as I create. So essentially, I am a solopreneur. I have a business in which I do consulting and I do a lot of creative stuff. I create a lot of things. I'm going to update y'all on what I've been creating. Here we go. As y'all know, I have been blessed to be able to open up a lot of my skill set for different clients through the AI wave, essentially. So a bunch of people can now help train models through some of these companies that are putting out more and more sophisticated models. And we can use a lot of different expertise that they think other people might want to be able to lean on AI to replace in part. Y'all know a lot of these models are quite flawed in certain ways, but people still want to, like any other tool, use them, refine them, make them better, and see if we can get something out of them. So I've been playing around with them myself here and there, as I've talked about on the show in the past, and I've now been hired in pretty much all the different skill sets I have almost. This has been so fun for me because it lets me stay nimble and be able to create my own projects and work on my own projects and service other clients. So I've been doing that a lot. And for those who are out there who are also voice actors like myself, if y'all are interested, I do know of different projects that are opening up and I am liking the pay rate for them. They are not cloning projects. I know reputable places where a lot of us find gigs like voices.com. They've been having webinar series and educational series giving tips to other voice actors out there about what to look out for as far as good deals or bad deals go in general, but also exclusively around AI. So it's not just cloning. There's all kinds of stuff out there, like people training models with our voices. So then those rights that we're giving away are not for cloning our voices, but are for using the voices to be able to refine how these models can interpret and generate things, but not based on just one person's voice. Look at the fine print, look at the details, know the kind of things that are out there if you're an actor like myself. And then I think we can feel like we do when getting into business with all kinds of different people. We have to sort of learn about what's out there, take a leap of faith sometimes into new avenues of business, and then talk to each other and learn who's being reasonable and who's protecting our interests. So there's lots of good people out who are talking about the things to look out for around AI gigs. But if people are interested, contact me offline because there are several things that I've been involved in that I'm enjoying that I think they're being handled pretty well. And that's one of the things too in getting involved with some of the voice training and also training models with creative writing background or with my STEM background. The projects can be so fun if they're sort of put together really well. Generally, these projects have beginning, middle, end, they change over time. But if even at the early stages they're organized well, then for people to step into them and offer our expertise is that much easier. These projects are often challenging because people are wanting to, based on how we first, at the earlier stages of them, train these models up, adjust what we're going to do later so it can get like to be a moving target even for the experts who are coming in trying to train the models. But They can be really rewarding. I found it to be really rewarding. Financially, it's pretty been a good thing for me in a lot of these projects, and also just in terms of using skills that I've been interested in using just for my own projects where I haven't made a lot of money off of, but I have skills. And so I just love the idea that, oh, finally I can use these skills. And also it helps really pay the bills. It's not just down the road might help to pay the bills. So for folks who are in voice acting, let me know if you are interested in talking shop about the different things out there, because it is really a situation where some deals are just terrible and I skip them all the time, and some of them are worthwhile. We just have to, I guess, keep learning what we feel comfortable with. Not everyone might feel comfortable being a part of this, and I get that, but I feel comfortable being a part of it in certain ways. Not the voice cloning ways, but other ways. And I respect people who want to go out there. I've heard of people investing in getting their own voice clones that they then control. Um, that makes a lot of sense to me if you feel like you have the thousands and thousands of dollars to develop your own models. So anyway, talking about AI model training. Lots of people out there are in this game, and sometimes people online are asking, are certain different places where you can get staffed to be an expert to offer your expertise. It could be in medicine, it could be in accounting, it could be in law, it could be in chemistry, it could be in acting. I mean, really, so many different types of expertise are needed by some of these different groups who are targeting the models to be able to help in specific professional ways. Anyway, so people are asking the different ways that you can get involved with some of these projects, was usually to go through some of these middleman kind of businesses, and are those ones reputable? So I've had some good experiences with some of them, and again, if y'all are interested, they're out there on LinkedIn. You can find them too, but if you want me to share, I can talk with y'all about that if you're interested in that offline, and let you know some of my experiences. But there tends to be conversation on Reddit and other places online where you can get some feedback about it. I've had experiences where I wondered, are these folks just trying to do informational interviews to get expertise without paying? Because then sometimes when you're interviewed, you are offering a whole lot of skill just to show what you have. And then if that's some kind of sneaky way people are trying to get a lot of data in but not pay for it, you get sort of worried. So I can understand people have reservations. Let me know. Let me know if you want to talk about stuff. I can share what's worked for me. Some of them have been wild projects that were like, whoa, how is that organized? What? It's shifting all the time. And then it's over before you make any real money. So you're just like, what? Why did I do all that? So I've had a range of experiences, but a lot of them have been positive, and a lot of other people who were involved in this kind of work gave me some tips about how to organize myself and think about it over time. So let me know if you want to talk about that. But as far as acting goes, I'm still having a good time going over and doing the standardized patient stuff I've been doing. For y'all who don't know, standardized patient work can be done by actors or just regular folks if you are willing to help pretend you have a certain issue so that medical students, nursing students, physical therapy students, other folks can practice interacting with the patient, asking the right questions, handling difficult topics before they have to deal with those kinds of things in the real world when we're all depending on them as patients to sort of know how to guide us through stuff. So, standardized patient work, I'm doing it over at Duke University in Durham in North Carolina. I've done it other places. It's a lot of challenge for me. It's really good. There's times when some of the things that we bring up, they really do a great job of developing cases that are very realistic. And so I can relate to it. Sometimes it's like, whoa, it's a little bit overwhelming because somebody I love has been through this situation and woo, it's bringing it back for me. But that's why I think it's really great to be a part of something like that, because I know if I'm still thinking about it steps removed and years removed, then it's a really intense situation when people are going through it at the time. It's great to have healthcare professionals who can help deal with their own emotions as they're helping the patients through things and get some practice to feel confident about. Like they get practice on the more biological side of things, the physiological side of things. They practice all kinds of knowledge building. So the social skills also critical in there. Those of y'all out there who are medical professionals, y'all really know really, really know how critical the whole pulling it all together is because you're working with people and we're all over the place. So practicing that's probably hugely important. Anyway, I've been enjoying it and learning quite a bit about how to process some of the things that come up in the medical interactions. A lot of times when we go in as just regular folks, it's a very stressful time. And medical professionals who have been sort of thinking about how to guide us through, they know that. But then there's so many different flavors of people and our own experiences that I think it can be fascinating to see some of the challenges that come up based on just how frightened we are about whatever might be going on. It's just made me really think about when we get great medical professionals, just what it takes for them to do that. It's not just knowing all the science. It's also about working with us, so we can really be that team that people keep talking about, the healthcare team. Anyway, y'all, I could go on and I could go on, but we'll connect up to health again as we usually do in our health trivia at the end of Live with Cheryl. Lots of good acting I'm enjoying in terms of challenges, getting to be with other actors in person, in real life in person, instead of me just doing all my thing here in the studio. Now, y'all know I have an AI generated fake background here, but this is my real studio back there. Y'all can't see. And sometimes it can be a little isolating. So that's another reason I really enjoy the Duke SP program and other SP programs out there too. I'm sure they have a sense of community also. So I'm enjoying that. Let's see what else is going on with the acting. Yeah, just really getting into more AI kind of clients with the acting. And then moving over to writing, I have rejoined one of the places that I've usually periodically joined. I'm now going to be year round on ISA, one of the ways that a lot of screenwriters can pitch our work to producers and other outlets that could help us get produced, help us get out there. So I'm now going to be annually pitching. So I'm going to make some time to dust off all my different scripts, all my pilots and screenplays and stuff, because I'm now going to be in a position to jump on opportunities sooner. I was doing it every other month to sort of cut down on expenses, but they are, I'll just say this, ISA is going to up their rates in 2026. And so they're offering that people can lock in the lower rates of 2025 over and over and over again indefinitely if you go ahead and grab now. I don't get any kickback or bonus for saying that. That's just why I went ahead and did the year round myself. So for screenwriting, I am about to get back to editing my second script of the year. This is one that's going to sort of let me have a little bit of a portfolio touch on some action. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about, being able to pitch it and get it out there. So I've also been, as y'all know, I think I mentioned this during the last Live with Cheryl, I'm still enjoying this project. There's a project that's been really good that's using people who have expertise in creative writing to train AI models to be a little bit more creative. It's so wild, y'all. It's so interesting to see and to hear the conversations sort of online with the group of folks who are offering our expertise. Everyone has some interesting thoughts about, what is always going to be needing to come from people and what could AI be good at in the creative space. So I've not only been able to do some poetry with them in terms of, I'm not doing the poetry, I'm evaluating poems that AI is coming up with. Y'all, it's interesting. It's really interesting. But I've also done a lot more with book chapters in a wide range of genres. That's been fascinating for me. And a little bit of songs. So I, as y'all know, have been developing my songwriting. And even though I've been able to be recognized for my composition, I have been somebody who has been coming along over time and is just now putting out, more songs that are more refined and the lyrics are, doing some even better things than they did when I started out. So I felt like dipping my toe into that. And it was fascinating for me to use some of the tools that I've been using to train myself to then think, okay, how can I help an AI songwriting learner? So, y'all, it's a lot of fun. It's sort of wild. Again, there were conversations about how do you think about collaborating with AI in your songwriting. And now you got to be careful because we all know there are issues about what you need to be coming up with so that you can still own the intellectual property. So you got to be real careful about if you're doing it in your own songwriting, not directly pulling things from AI that you can't then own. But in terms of like coming up with like random little snippets that you sort of run with, like little tiny ideas, that's probably a safe thing. So not in your final product, but little refinements here or there or jumping off points, that probably is okay. That's how people have recommended it. So for say for other writing, but long story short, it can be fascinating to see how you can break down some of the creative process and see the AI being sort of amenable to that kind of thing. Like there's just different ways that you're going to do phases of creating a song, and AI might do that too. I guess it depends on what the prompts are that it's dealing with, because we're the people who are asking it to sort of do some of our workloads. We might decide, okay, I'm going to give AI a brainstorming challenge, or I'm going to have it work on just this one part of a lyric. Anyway, it's all of us steering it, all of us people steering it with our little prompts, and then it does what we ask and then more. I think it's a lot of fun because I guess at this point I'm not one of, I guess, folks who would happen to be really, really worried about it. But I do think we all do have to spend some time being sort of serious about the impacts of AI on different jobs. And I don't want to lessen people's concerns about making sure that any kind of displacement of work, we seriously think about it collectively, because AI is here. We want to use it responsibly overall. But anyway, I am glad that I'm able to get a benefit at this point and be glad to talk to people about if they're interested in this kind of stuff around the creative writing, around the acting, around STEM. Let's see. Also, for me, I mentioned that, well, I don't know if I mentioned it yet here, but let me move over to it. Another update as I create. So I have several parts of the business. For me, streaming is one thing that I'm doing to support the other things in the business. And one of the places that I do exclusive content is actually on Patreon. And just today, I just posted a new thing there from my patrons. Hey, y'all. Thanks for y'all's support. Thank you. And I wanted to mention over there, just in general, for patrons on the top two tiers, I have every month I have a new, usually around every month I have a new exclusive bit of content. So over there, I have some things that I talk about exclusively for patrons there, but in general, it's a little bit of what I've been inspired by. So I did the series Inspired by and Why, and I'm updating that. I haven't revamped it for everybody to see yet, but I still do some exclusives over there on Patreon. But this latest Inspired by and Why that's exclusive over there for patrons on the top two tiers is about some of the content I found inspiring on social media that links a little bit to, I'm going to be, as y'all know, relaunching my speaking business. So I've done speaking all over the country around my jazz novel, but I'm doing it around these keynote concerts. So putting in my singing with songs that are tailored to the audience and some inspirational stories as well. So some of the people who I talked about on my latest show for patrons are people who are also motivating other folks. And some of the people that I talked about are getting me interested in moving my thinking in all kinds of ways. So I'll just show y'all, I think I can share my screen. I'll just give y'all just a little look. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. And y'all could just see right there the little freeze frame. You can see I was wearing the same outfit because I did this earlier today. But this is, oh, I guess you can't really see the title there. It's November. It says underneath this little Patreon title, it says, who gets my body moving and my brain moving? Who gets my body and my brain moving? So I was just talking about who I'm following for inspiration and for movement inspiration as well as other inspiration. inspiration in my thinking as well as inspiration in my movement, especially for someone like myself who sits so much. So, y'all, that's part of what's going on, part of my updates as I create. And I think in terms of music, I've been really excited to, I'm not willing fully to get back into writing new songs for myself to put out in 2026 just yet, because usually at the end of the year is where I start working on lyrics in anticipation of new releases of my own stuff early in the next year. I really do want to get my second screenplay edited and get that out the door before I move over to the new songwriting. But because I've been helping the AI client with some of the songs that have been involved in training the model, I've been sort of getting more excited about it. So I am looking forward to that. And that is definitely in the schedule to get really pumped about writing new music and producing new music. I'm going to be applying for some grants to help me with some of the music production so I can keep paying out the people out there who support me. Thanks, y'all. I'll be getting more budget, hopefully, from local grant support, or I'm at least going to try to. That might help me create even more productions that are ready to go out there for my own audio productions, for audiobooks, or for audio stories, for my own short film productions, so I can get some of my screenwriting produced by me producing it myself and putting it out there and seeing if I can get more interest in opportunities that I want to create for myself being made, like my own screenplays getting made. So trying to then also use music for, as y'all know, uh, licensing for film and TV, not just for films that I make and not just for things that I make, but for other folks who have way bigger budgets that can then help me help keep making what I love to make by, getting some of that bigger budget. So lots of synergy in the business and lots of eagerness for me. But right now, it's just about singing and enjoying, keeping my instrument going and keeping my songwriting skill set ready to go and then chomping at the bit. So when my screenplay edits are in hand, then I can, boom, turn over to the songwriting, get that flowing again. So I think I've covered the streaming going on over Patreon. I've covered the STEM through AI training. I haven't done as much of that because I've been doing more of the writing and AI training and the acting and AI training and the songwriting and AI training that connects to the music. So I think really in the keynote, I mentioned that some of the things I was inspired by, and I talked about on Inspired by and Why, the exclusive version. I think, I think I mentioned that some of those were getting me thinking about updating my reaching out for my first keynote concert and my new version of speaking. But I got to tell y'all, I've been servicing clients in the AI space. I've been having a good time and they're paying me pretty well. So that's why some of my other things are slowing down a little bit because I'm enjoying working with clients. And thanks, y'all. Enjoying the gig. So hopefully you guys, you will come on back for another live with Cheryl. Let me know if you want me to talk about any certain thing. It's actually going to be on the very first day of the brand new year. That's the first Thursday coming up next. So January 1st, 8:30 p.m. Eastern is going to be the next live with Cheryl. But before we wrap this one up, we have our usual connection to how to stay healthy, thinking about inspiring ourselves. We have to have a foundation of health so we can act on our inspiration. So with that said, I want to get to showing y'all today's health trivia. The holiday season can strain wallets and schedules. This is true. Set clear boundaries with your what and your budget. So the holiday season can strain wallets and schedules. Set clear boundaries with your blank and your budget. So I'm going to let y'all think about it. I don't know if y'all have to think too hard about it, but let's still give you some thinking music. And then let me see what y'all come up with. Let's get a little bit of the theme song. Choices are A, do you need to set clear boundaries with your caroling? Or B, do you need to set clear boundaries with your time? I see that we have option C being suggested, saying you just set clear boundaries with your loved one. Now, that is probably correct in all cases of partnerships, but that wasn't the actual multiple choice. So we're going to have to say, although that is valid, we would like you to select either A or B. But thank you, loved one, who put that in there. That was actually a really good one to put in. So we have to be one of these things where we have like two things correct. It's like A or B, or just only A, only B, A and B. If we put that in there, that would have to be one of the correct options too. Does anybody have a response selecting from A or B? In other words, not including your own thing, even though, frankly, that was a good one. If not, I would just answer it myself, and I think y'all know it. All right, y'all. I'm going to just go for it myself and pause the music. I do appreciate y'all being creative, though. I mean, my goodness. So y'all might have, oh, wait, there you go, B. Okay, it came in. Thank y'all for participating and for the other answer. Legitimately, the other answer was quite good. Points for creativity. But yeah, exactly. What was being suggested here by one of these resources, you can go to a lot of good places to get lots of tips on beating holiday stress. But one of these resources that I found was from Duke, from one of their, I think it's targeted at staff, sort of a newsletter to help everybody trade good ideas. They're saying set clear boundaries with your time and your budget. A lot of us think about budgeting our money, and we need to do that, but also budget that time. Running all around, feeling all crazy. Oh my goodness, it just takes some of the joy and the fun out of things in general, but especially when your time is tight in ways that you're not used to juggling, like the holidays can bring up. Oh, all of a sudden we got to go over here. Oh, forgot we got to go over there. That happens. So let me know, since you answered the question so correctly and you provided an additional response, would you like to hear the theme song as we wrap up, or do you want to hear another song of my choice? And y'all, thank y'all for hanging out. Thank you for sharing your ideas about things to set boundaries with. Those were excellent. Thank y'all for your support on Patreon. Thank you for your support with the eyeballs here. Hope y'all are sharing inspiration out there. And I hope everyone is learning how to set boundaries where we need to, how to live it up where we can, and help each other out as much as possible. So yeah, but let me know if you want to hear Tim, if you want to hear the theme song or a unique song. Otherwise, hopefully I will see y'all back here for the next Live with Cheryl, January 1st. Why can I say my own name? Next Live with Cheryl, January 1st at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And let me just check back and see if Tim has decided if he wants to hear the theme song. Y'all, it's about time to go. So I think I'm just going to choose that theme song. Usually if you select the correct response, you get to choose something. You get to choose the music. But if I don't hear from Tim soon enough, then I'm going to steal that precious gift of choice from him. Oh no, that's not what we do on Live with Cheryl. We give you a choice. You get to win something, and it makes a difference. Come on, Tim. Do you want to hear the theme song, or do you want a special song? Come on, Tim. I'll go ahead, you guys, and start playing the theme song. And then if I hear from Tim that he wanted something else, I will change it. All right, we'll be flexible here with our supporters. Y'all take care. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you in January. And if you're on Patreon, if you're one of the supporters, see you next Thursday for the monthly chat. All right, y'all. Bye. Be well, be well, be well.